Ring, ring, ring.
Flo Mortgage, Jose speaking. Am I help you?
No, we're not going to say Flow Mortgage. We're going to say XY Bank because XY Bank is Flow Mortgage.
Okay.
One more time. Ring, ring, ring.
XYZ, you know where you want to be.
Welcome to another episode of Lending Lounge. Jose.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Today we're going to talk about something that we've already talked about, we've already mentioned. I think we've done this at least 3 or 4 times already. But
several times. Yes.
It's a topic of interest. It's something that keeps coming up. And if it keeps coming up, we're going to keep talking about it until they realize and understand
the differences between
a pre-approval and a pre-qualification.
Oh, sure.
And we're just going to, I'm going to preface this, because I'm not saying dumb it down because I don't think whoever's watching this is dumb. I just want you to understand it at its core.
There are 2 different types of qualifications.
There are 2 types of qualifications, and there's 2, really, to be honest,
expectation too.
Expectation and 2 types of loan officers at that too.
Absolutely.
So, with a pre-qual, this is what that might look like. It's going to be a loan officer in a call center scenario setting, and I think we can both agree most of them, I would say 80% of them are probably new to the industry.
I would say newer to the industry for sure.
So this is kind of where you get your legs, so to speak, in mortgages.
But not only that, there's a lot of without name dropping anybody, there's a lot of banks out there that do this, because they have a retail side of the business, and a lot of them deal with pre-qualifications. And then when it turns out that they're in contract, like we all know, some things come up that wasn't in the pre-qual, like a pre-approval would have handled. And because of that, they run into issues where they can't close a loan at this point, right? Right. So there is a huge difference, and that's the difference between a skilled loan officer and somebody who just jumped in the business, don't know what they're doing. So
we're gonna role play this one for you so that you can see a visual of what it looks like.
Sure.
Ring, ring, ring.
Flo Mortgage, Jose speaking. Am I help you?
No, we're not gonna say Flow Mortgage. We're gonna say XY Bank because XY Bank is Flow Mortgage.
Okay.
One more time. Ring, ring, ring.
XYZ, you know where you want to be.
Yes, I want to be in a house. What's your name, sir?
What's my name or what's your name?
What's your name, sir?
My name is Joe Flo.
Joe Flo. Joe Flo, I am looking to buy a house and my realtor tells me I need to be pre-approved. How can I do that with you guys?
Sure, what's your name?
My name is Juanito Platanito.
And what is your date of birth?
My date of birth is January 20th, 1980.
And your social security number?
555-55555.
Do you have a job?
Yes.
Have you been there a couple years?
Yes.
All right. How much money you got? You got a couple dollars with you?
I make about $100,000 a year.
Oh, beautiful. Man, you're pre-approved already, buddy.
I'm pre-approved?
You're pre-approved.
How much can I get?
Man, as much as you want.
As much as I want?
Anything you want. I'll make it happen for you.
Thank you so much, Flo, Mr. Flo.
You're welcome.
Can you send me that letter now so I can go to my realtor?
Absolutely.
Thank you. That's a pre-qual. I know you guys didn't see the difference of what just went down, but now we're going to show you what happens when you're actually taking a pre-approval. Because when you're taking a pre-approval, we're asking all kinds of questions in there. We're not going to do a whole pre-approval process right now.
No way. This is too long.
Just to kind of put it in depth, let me be the loan officer of this one.
You be the loan officer.
Call me up.
Ring, ring, ring.
Flow Mortgage, this is Pablo. How can I help you?
Hey, Pablo. How you doing? My name is Jose, and I'm looking to get a mortgage.
That is awesome. I can definitely help you with that. Just so that you know the difference between me and, what do you know? First of all, let me take it back a little bit. What do you know about mortgages?
I don't know anything. I'm a first-time home buyer. My realtor referred me to you guys, and I have no clue at this point. If you want to coach me, great. Tell me what I need to do on my end to make things happen for you. But just, this is the first time I'm buying a house. I don't know. I don't have no expectations.
So you came to the right one. Let me tell you. First and foremost, I'm a mortgage broker. So I deal with over 50 different banks. What that means is I can look for the best scenario for you. My job is to find you the lowest interest rate, the lowest down payment, whatever the best terms are for you. That's what I do. I work for you. I don't work for the bank. So that's number one. What we're going to do in this process is we're going to go into your credit profile. We're going to kind of see everything that's there. I'm going to ask you some qualifying questions. And then once I get that coupled with you sending me financial documents back so that I can see that everything that we've talked about is the same, then I can issue a pre-approval letter. How does that sound?
That sounds fantastic. I mean, when you say documentation, I mean, what if I can't find all the documents?
Well, if you can't find the documents, we're gonna have to figure it out together, my brother. So if we have to go to the IRS to download documents, we will. If you need to go speak with your human resource department, we're gonna do that as well. But one way or another, we're gonna find out how to get this documentation so that we can pre-approve you correctly. Okay?
That sounds fantastic. Yes, sir.
And this, we're gonna ask you your name, blah blah blah. We're gonna ask you for social security, blah blah blah. Now I'm gonna ask you the qualifying questions. How much money do you make currently at your job?
I make about $60,000 a year.
So this is the difference between a pre-qual and a pre-approval. Pre-qual, they'll take that $60,000 at face value. A mortgage broker, or at least a good one, is gonna ask you, are you self-employed or are you working W-2?
I'm with W-2.
Perfect. And if he would have said, I'm self-employed.
I'm self-employed.
How much of that do you write off every year in tax years?
Well, I made about, I couldn't tell you, my accountant handles that, but I would say that I didn't pay that much in taxes last year.
So this is the point in the conversation where a mortgage broker knows right off the rip, there's no way I can give him a pre-approval letter. He can't go out there looking for houses. It's gonna waste his time, it's gonna waste his realtor's time, it's gonna waste my time. We need to get down to everything. So I'm gonna pull his credit, we're gonna look at his credit profile, we're gonna study that carefully. But I have to, without a shadow of a doubt, look at all the financial documents before I write that pre-approval letter. Because if I send him out there, Jose, what happens if I lily-dally just send Jose out there with a pre-approval letter and he's not pre-approved? What are the bad things that can happen?
I mean, first of all, you're wasting everybody's time, right? The realtor's gonna go out there thinking they got a pre-approval on their hand, and they're gonna try to place offers on these houses that guy cannot afford. And even by paper, some people are what is it, money rich and paper poor.
Yep.
So, especially self-employed people, if you don't look and review at those tax returns, you're not gonna get like a very good picture of what income they make, their financial pulse, so to speak. And for that reason alone, you could do a lot of harm than good. You're gonna damage your reputation, number two. Probably the most important thing. Our reputation is everything, so I want to make sure that when I give a pre-approval out there, that I am going to be able to close a loan. If I don't close a loan, it's something that happened with the property or some negotiations fell apart or anything like that. It's not because of my pre-approval. It's not because of the finances of that client or anything like that. But more importantly, I mean, you're going to damage your reputation more than anything else, and then your referral partners are not going to use you again. Why? Because you're only as good as your last loan.
Not only that, like tangibly, things that can go wrong.
So
I send Jose out there with a pre-approval or pre-qualification letter because I didn't pre-approve him.
Right.
Send him with a pre-qualification letter out there. Jose gets on the contract. Jose goes ahead and orders a home inspection. He orders
an appraisal,
a mold inspection. Like there's so many inspections that can be ordered.
Yeah.
And I mean they can go from $300-400 to $1,000 or $1,500.
Yeah. And if it's a mobile home, you got well inspections, you got land inspections, and that alone could drive you up to like $3,000. So,
not to mention the engineering certification.
So
there's all kinds of money right there, right? And that's that's to say that this happens over the weekend. Before someone issued a pre-qualification on Friday,
right?
And by Monday they're on the contract and already did the home inspection.
Yeah, that happens to be the case sometimes.
You're out all this money without knowing that fully. Only, and this is why we're making this video, because this is something that someone called me in with. All that happened. The loan officer on Monday grabbed the files. Oh, I'm gonna submit it today. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Let me order the appraisal. So they order an appraisal too. So now you're already out between $500 and $1,000 over there.
Yeah.
Now you're about to be out another $500 or $600 over here.
The appraisal. Yep.
Only to be told
you can't qualify.
You don't qualify because I never saw your tax returns.
Yep.
$1,600 in. That's a
at minimum.
That's a very expensive life lesson to learn.
Absolutely.
So we say all that to say this: if you're gonna go out there, number one, look for reviews. Go see, make sure that whoever you're dealing with is someone that actually knows what they're doing. Number one. Number two, I know that everybody starts somewhere. We both started somewhere. But even us starting when we started, we weren't let to be free and roam and do whatever as we please.
Not at all.
We had people that watched our backs and checked everything behind us. Make sure that person is new, that's the same thing is happening with them. Number 3, before you make an offer on any house, make sure somebody has reviewed all your financials. Don't just assume because you make all this money off of XYZ. Here goes another example. I had a client who owns a huge piece of real estate in a major city in the United States. He is retired. He does not work. But that huge piece of real estate produces $60,000 a month in income. What he and his accountant neglected to see is that they write it all off.
Yep.
So, although he's making, 60 times 12, $720,000 a year, on paper, he's only making $90,000. He wants to buy another $500,000 property or $1 million property, whatever the case was. You can't do it.
Can't do it.
You can't do it. With all the expenses you have on that property, you can't do it. The only way that could happen, I would issue a pre-approval letter, is if I had seen everything. Once I saw everything, I told him I can't do it. There's no way for me to do this. Now, there's other programs available, but the way you want to get it done, it doesn't exist.
Right.
So again, make sure that you talk to somebody credible, knows what they're doing, has experience, and at the very least has seen all your financials. If they haven't seen your financials, you don't have a loan.
Documentation is so important in this game. And I call it game because it's just our game, right? More than anything else. But I mean, you have to present all your documentation. And what is that documentation? Let's go over it again. Go ahead.
You got your driver's license. Number 1, we need to know who we talking to, who we working with. We need to see 30 days of pay stubs. We need to see 2 years of tax returns. We need to see 2 years of W-2s.
Yep.
If you're self-employed,
1099s.
And what else?
Business tax returns.
And if you don't have business tax returns, Schedule C.
Schedule C. I was getting it out. Give me a second.
Well,
Let me catch up.
So he's a little under the weather. So when I see him not going full force, I kind of push him.
A little push.
A little love tap, if you will. But I mean, these are the documents that they have to see. And bank statements. That goes without saying. We have to see where the money's at. So
100%.
401k, bank statements, stocks returns, any asset, any funds that you have for an asset.
It makes your file stronger if you present more documentation anyway. So that's the reality.
And I know a lot of people, this is one of the questions that I get the most. And then when I explain why, they understand. So we don't ask you how much money is in your bank account just because we want to spend all your money.
Yeah,
like that's not the case at all by any means. What it does do is you tell me, Pablo, I have $10,000 in the bank account. That's fine. If that's what we got to work with, that's what we got to work with.
Yep.
But if you got $100,000 and you just want to use $10,000, tell us you have $100,000 and we're going to use 10. Because the $100,000 serves as assets, which can make your file stronger, which can get you approved or better terms with different banks. Absolutely. So you let us know what you have. We structure it the best way possible to get you what you're looking for.
My mission is to make sure that I use the least amount of money from the clients. I mean,
but you know how many times have you done pre-approve? So you pre-approve somebody, you got them going, and you tell them, well, you don't qualify. They might want, I don't know, $40,000 more than what you have them pre-approved for.
Right.
And I can't do it. This is what you got. And then all of a sudden,
$100,000
falls out of the sky. Oh, I got this bank account I never showed you.
Well, this makes sense. Now you have enough for your down payment and your closing costs, and then we're good to go. You have a higher approval amount. So absolutely.
That's why we have to see everything up front. Like we can only work with the numbers that are given to us or presented to us. If you present us the whole scenario, we can come up with the solution.
I can't go by, hey, that money I could find.
Oh, please, yes.
I can't go by like, oh, well, Fulanito has it in his account, and I need to see what you have available. Can there be gifts? Yes, you can get a gift depending on what type of loan it is, but we want to make sure that everything's sourced. This is what the banks are gonna require. It's like one of these things where can we show everything?
Funny money.
No funny money.
We want to make sure there's no funny money. So show us everything. We can determine what the situation is. You let us know what you're looking for. We'll find you the game plan to get you there.
That's it.
Put us in the game, coach. If you're looking to buy a house, you're looking to refinance, you're looking to take out a HELOC, who are they going to call, Zay?
Flow Mortgage. I said Flow Mortgage. Hold on, man. I'm going to say Flow Mortgage.
I don't know, bro. You're a little slow. I got to give you a push. I got to get you a push in. Push in there, sir. And this is another episode of the Lending Lounge.
Closings are made simple.